Hello, everyone. I'm Amanda Sharp, the mama.
Andrew Lang, the Bachelor.
What's cracking? Aaron LeDuc, the dad.
So, just quickly, normally, Aaron, I guess obviously Zoom gets like put in the little template by who comes in. And so, like, Aaron's usually up where AJ is for me, and AJ's usually on the bottom. But it must be that you came in last, Aaron. So, as soon as like it went to go to AJ, I looked at you and I was like, nope, wrong person.
Technically, I came in first, but then I had to reboot.
True. And I didn't say that to AJ prior to this. So AJ,
Okay.
you said you wanted to talk about fame.
Yes.
Tell me what you're thinking.
Somebody asked for your autograph?
Not yet. So my best
Pay
friend.
somebody to ask AJ for his autograph.
You definitely should. It'll be such an ego boost.
I know. On your lowest of days in the real estate world, we're gonna take care of that. We gotcha.
And then what happens if, not that he would do this, but if like AJ just snubs that guy and is like totally rude to him, and those awful celebrities were like, who knew AJ was?
No, I think
Not that you would.
like, how many more do you need? Does your mom need one? Does your dad?
Right, exactly.
All right, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, AJ.
Sorry.
So my best friend got TikTok famous.
I'm not jealous at all.
He's got, wow, this is crazy. He just keeps growing in followers. He's got 56.5 thousand followers.
That was my phone hitting my desk in shock for our viewers who can't see. What?
He's got 1.3 million likes.
That's all I like.
Yeah.
What?
What's his content?
I'll show you his video that he blew up on.
I'm not jealous at all. I'm not jealous at all. Is that his sisters?
It's his sisters.
I've
He
been
just got
dropping
famous on dropping off his sisters to school.
I've been dropping William off to school now forever, and the world hasn't witnessed it, and I'm so wrong.
I'm just throwing this out there. If presidents can kiss babies and your friend can kiss his sibling's head, if I start kissing y'all on the heads, it's because I'm trying to get famous. Just run with it. Just run with it. It's not creepy. It's just TikTok-y. I'm usually the driver in the car, too. I'd be like, AJ, have a good day.
Right.
Don't make this weird, guys.
Run with it.
You're like, did that broker just kiss her agents that she dropped off at these open houses?
Listen, it wouldn't be for brokerage. It would be for our podcast, which has nothing to do with
There you go.
So I have to say, I am pleased that that was the content that got him a following, because that's a sweet video where other people have become TikTok famous-ish from doing stupid things or inappropriate things or just things that I'm like, that's not cool. So that is a sweet video, and bravo to him. Is he really that sweet?
Oh yeah, he's an awesome guy. I'll shout him out real quick.
That is so cute.
Bryce Love 4 on TikTok is his name.
Bryce Love 4?
Bryce Love 4. His last name's actually Love.
Stop it.
Not joking.
Kidding me.
Not joking.
Now, has he been able to monetize?
He actually is. He's in the TikTok Creator Fund, and he actually gets to monetize off his videos.
So
that's cute.
I gotta figure out these algorithms.
Did he just get that status, the monetization status?
I think he's been monetizing for about 5 days now.
So yeah, so when did he post that video? Like, when did all this occur? Like, that's the thing about TikTok. It can literally happen overnight.
So he posted this video on 10/2. So the first of the month.
Just this month. What a difference 2 weeks can make. That is sweet. That is precious. And it tugs at my mama heartstrings. That is so cute.
Where his parents like, dang it, we should have taken the girls to school that day and filmed it.
You know, I really don't know how his parents feel about it, but his sisters love it. They were so happy. They were screaming and telling everyone, I guess.
Well, they're in a famous TikTok video. That's really neat. Hey, you just never know. And that For You page, I don't understand why certain things pop up, because some things I'm like, I have no interest in this. But if that would have popped up, I would have been like, oh, that's cute.
Is anyone like getting put aback by what their For You page is showing them?
Yes.
Okay, thank God. Not just me then. Not just
Let's
me.
Be real. TikTok's algorithm knows way too much about me.
Yeah, I hear you there. Because it was like, oh.
What is the best TikTok rabbit hole you've been down?
Last night, I was up past midnight.
No, but what, like, was it a particular video that?
It was my For You page.
Just, I
mean,
quite figured out how to search on TikTok, because the search pulls up songs, the search pulls up audio, and then videos, and sometimes the video has nothing to do with the actual thing that I was thinking I was searching for. So I struggle with the search. So yeah, the FYP For You page or whatever it is does get me.
Yeah. The only thing I've ever searched for, I think, was with people like kissing their best friend. That song. I don't know why. I love watching those, even when they're disasters.
The reactions are sometimes really sweet, or sometimes so that would be like Marcus and I, because we were very good friends. And if I would have kissed him, he just would have been like, all right, whatever. He would not have reacted.
He gets the remote.
Yeah, he'd have been like, all right, like, she needed to kiss me. Like, he wouldn't have given it any more thought.
Now that that's out of your system.
So true. So that is, but bravo for him. I'm gonna have to. I'll follow him, because I like following people that are really kind of kind. Hey, let me ask you about the TikTok, and I don't want this whole show to be consumed by TikTok, but I mean, we're not the only ones a little obsessed with it. So your video that you did like way back when, actually it probably was only a couple months ago, you eating McDonald's.
Yes.
What was that about?
So Travis Scott is a rapper, and he collaborated with McDonald's to get his favorite meal out, and it's I believe it's like a quarter pounder with bacon and cheese, and I think mustard or something like that. Comes with a fry with some sort of marinara dipping sauce for your fries, and a Sprite.
So did you like it or did you not like it? Because I feel like you were kind of a little disappointed at the end of it.
It was okay. Like, I'd give it probably like a 7 out of 10 on the McDonald's scale.
So when you go to order it, do you just ask for that, like, by name?
Yeah, I just said, hey, can I get the Travis Scott meal? Yeah.
And they knew?
Yeah, and the best thing too is it's like $5.
That's a very reasonable meal. So is Fame having a meal at McDonald's named after you?
Well, there is.
God, I hope not.
There's this TikTok girl. I think her name's Charlie something. I don't know her.
She dances.
Yeah,
I know her, but I'll tell you why in a second. Go ahead.
She has a Dunkin' Donuts drink.
She's cute. The only reason I know her is because of Gary Vee.
I like her sister more.
They're both very adorable. And you know what I really loved is when she was on Gary Vee, they were talking about TikTok and how she became TikTok famous. And it was just basically doing what she did. And next thing you know, like, it blew up. And her mom and dad and sister were like all there on Gary Vee with her. And it was like a family affair. And I just thought that was really, really cute that they were, because she was young. That video was probably maybe a year and a half old. And I love that her parents were still holding like that tight rein on the situation, because I mean, I do think fame can destroy young people.
Oh yeah.
It messes with our heads and stuff. I say it messes with our heads like I'm still young.
You are still young.
I'm younger than some, not younger than the two of you. I'm definitely the oldest, and that's
But AJ and I are pretty young as well. So to be like the oldest of the three of us, I mean, that's
oldest of the young. I'll take it.
Oldest of the young cool kids.
Yeah, I mean, I was 80s baby. very early 80s baby, but I was an 80s baby. I'm
So
so
are you
Go ahead.
in the 80s?
Yeah.
I know 80s is like the cutoff for a millennial.
I'm
Are you Gen Xer or are you a millennial?
No, I am a small, like 5-year window of Zennials is what they're called.
I
Where
know, but it's just people that don't want to be labeled millennials. I think.
no. And I didn't know what it was until it's like from 1978 to like 1982. And basically it is, we had a normal childhood, but we didn't have modern day like cell phones until our adults. So like we are the only ones who really experienced our childhood as our childhood and our adulthood as the convenience of what modern day like kids are experiencing. So I don't mean to like not label myself as a millennial or anything like that, but I think there is something very interesting about that window of time, and how precious that was for a lot of people to be able to experience that, because I know I really enjoyed having a traditional childhood. And these kids nowadays, like Owen's never going to know any different.
I'd have to agree with that statement. I believe that there is a different generation of mine where it's 1998 and 2003, maybe 2004. We don't fit the rest of Gen Z.
Right, because there's like a crossover from millennial to Gen Z, that like there's a transition period that you're not so that, but you're not quite that either. So I'm sure there'll be a name for that as well. So it's interesting. It's very
Yeah,
interesting.
your Zennials are from 75 to 85.
Okay, so the
1975 to
10-year
85.
window, I thought it was a little smaller, but I like
According
that it's,
to careerplanner.com.
but I do like that it's more of a decade, because then it fights the resistance of what you were saying, Aaron. Like no one
But
wants
see,
to label them as that, because
what's,
it's not about
what's
that. I just think it's true.
don't quote me on that, because this one has millennials and Gen Y and Gen X from 1980 to 1984.
I definitely don't
So,
think,
like you said, it's more of like there's a lot of overlap.
yeah, I definitely don't think millennials fall into 80s people. I really don't. I think millennial should be more 90s, but that's just my opinion.
I think we should just call it by like the decade. Why are we doing Gen Y, Gen X? You should be like, oh, you're a 70s baby. Oh, you're an 80s baby.
And
Oh, you're a 90s baby.
I would proudly be called an 80s baby.
80s, I think 80s was the best time to be born. Because like you said, we had traditional childhood, but we had some technological stuff advanced, and we kind of got to grow with technology.
Yeah, we didn't have the cell phones, but we had Nintendo. You know, but we still could walk down to a friend's house and not be worried that we're missing or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. I think I had the best childhood growing up. I was born just before 9/11. I had the 2008 financial crisis. I had coronavirus. Hey.
Are you making fun when you're saying you had the best okay, just making sure. No,
I think we're raising some good babies.
I was really encouraged when you started to say that, because I often wonder how Owen's going to view his childhood, because he's the one living it. So he doesn't know any different. So he's probably very content with his childhood. I mean, it is a good childhood.
Honestly, I think I had the best childhood growing up. You know, we had the best technology. It wasn't too much technology at the time, like with the iPhones when we were growing up. I didn't have an iPad or anything. I had a Leapfrog, though. I
was learning my ABCs.
Exactly.
I was school now.
I bought a lot of Leapfrog stuff for my niece.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, let's segue into what Aaron and I had quickly talked about, and then we said let's talk about it on the podcast. We were talking about the time change that's coming.
Fall back, baby.
I hate a fallback. I love a
sprint. I hate a sprint forward. Oh man.
Oh, I love it.
Give me my hour.
And I'm famous for saying, well, it's really like it's 8 or vice versa. And Marcus is like, nope, it's exactly the time that it is, Amanda. Like he always corrects me. I'm like, no, but your body is used to. He's like, nope, it's exactly the time that the clock is saying. And I'm like, but yesterday it was this. He's like, nope.
Doesn't give you an inch.
He doesn't give me an inch on it, but I think there's logic to what I'm trying to say when I'm saying that.
I follow what you're saying. I just think we should stop doing it.
Do you know which time is the actual time? Like which one we're supposed to be on?
I think
Time's relative, buddy.
No, I do think the time that we're going into the fallback is the original time.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you? Oh, you knew the answer. You were asking me the question, like to question.
Yeah.
Oh,
I googled it one year because I was curious. Yeah.
I thought because I think it was just to give farmers that extra like hour of daylight at the end of the day, if I'm thinking correctly.
And I love it because it's still the same amount of sunlight. Like it's just our clock is what's changed. You know what I mean? Like we want it.
Yeah, we've been trained to feel a certain way. Like it getting dark. I look at the weather app every single day, and one of the things I look at is like the sunset and the sunrise, and I'm like, oh, it's so much earlier than yesterday, and it's literally like 2 seconds earlier than yesterday, but it feels like eternity.
I love that it's dark at 6 and 5.
Are you kidding? I hate that. I like as soon as it gets dark, I'm like, all right, it's time for me to go to bed.
I love
it's dark.
I
love fall. I love dark.
I can deal with fall. I have a hard time waking up in the dark and like.
I'll give you that.
Having
dark and cold.
7 hours of if we get we'll have daylight, but maybe not even any sunlight because it's just so dreary and gross. At least where we're at because it's Michigan, and it's just it weighs on me. It really does. So when December 22nd comes and the days start getting longer again, I feel like I'm a whole new woman. December 22nd. I'm like, here we go, going to summer, and it's like a party day for me. It's just.
I agree. I don't like when the days get shorter.
And I think what stems it the most for me is I hate driving in the dark. I hate it. And so showing houses and stuff like we do, a lot of that is after, in the darkest of days, 5:30, it's basically dark. Mm-hmm. So the majority of the winter, we're showing houses in the evening. And some of them don't have power and they're cold. You have to bring flashlights, and it's just not fun like it is in the summer. You have a story with you, Jay?
I showed a house the other day. The house on Lewis, the foreclosure that went up.
That's a sad one. Yeah, I've been in that one.
That basement was so scary.
There are some basements that are scary.
Next to
we probably shouldn't say the location.
Yeah, we
all right. Does it have that weird porch where you got to walk around the whole front and get in on the side of the house? If you go to the front porch, or where you can go into the garage, or there's like this long, big, immaculate.
I don't think there's anything immaculate about the house.
Oh no! All right. Was there a spiral staircase?
No.
Upstairs?
No.
Oh, we're talking different houses. All right, go on. Sorry. That would scare the crap out of me. I was in that one. I actually called my niece, and I'm like, I need someone to talk to me on the phone while I lock up because I am scared to leave this house.
No, some houses you walk in and you just feel not comfortable in. And then there are some that you walk in, you're like, oh, this is a good house. It has nothing to do with the way it looks or anything. It's just that feeling.
Vibe inside. Yeah. Sorry to change subjects. You said flashlight, and I remember because I was walking around with a flashlight because I had no power.
So you must have showed it later in the evening.
No, I showed it in the morning or earlier in the morning, or later in the morning.
Just in the basement.
But we were in the basement, yeah. So I had my flashlight. Shout out to Aaron for that.
Flashlight that Aaron gave you.
Yes.
Man, I got one too.
I sure did. It's in my purse.
How you know you're my friend if I buy you a flashlight? Means I care.
That's Aaron's equivalent to kissing somebody on the forehead.
Pretty much. So yes, there you go.
Become TikTok famous from the disbursement of your flashlights.
There you go. You could be Oprah, but with flashlights.
I'm the Oprah of illumination.
I love it.
You get a flashlight, and you get a flashlight.
Everyone gets a flashlight.
Check under your chairs.
No, it was a big day when I got my Taco Bell sauce and a flashlight. I mean, not every day happens like that. It was good. It was really good. No, but I really struggle with the darkness, and I do wonder, like the people who live in Alaska, and I have a couple of friends that are there, and there's those days that are all daylight, and I really feel like I could thrive in an all daylight because I can fall asleep talking to somebody. When I'm tired, I'm tired. Daylight would
We,
not keep me awake. But
we
then
are
you have
yin and yang.
I know. Well, we're like twins, so of course we would be a little bit there.
If it was daylight all the time, I would be miserable.
That is,
I could do the 24 or hour day that period where it's all darkness. I would thrive.
it would suck the soul out of my body.
The
Darkness
daylight
would
would.
suck the soul out of my body.
I would agree. It was weird when I was sailing. The coast got dark, I think, like 7:30, 8 o'clock, when we would normally be getting dark 9:30. And
Yes.
it makes me wonder what time they get dark now. Now that we're getting dark at 7:30.
You know what? I can tell you because I have really good friends who live in Massachusetts, and anytime we're there in the summer, because we visit them every summer, it gets early there, gets bright, like light so much earlier. And I'm telling you, like, oh, okay, it gets light here at 5:45. It's getting light there like at 4:45. It's really interesting. So and I'm just doing our Ida location because that's what I have pulled up. So our sunset tonight would be 6:53. If you go to where my friends are, it's 6:06. So it's like an hour difference.
Yeah.
So when it's dark here at 5:30, it's dark there basically at 4:30.
Man.
And I mean, they're used to it because they've lived there. That's just how they were raised. But I just think that's so like early to get dark.
I think so too. Could you imagine like if you had a normal 9 to 5 job, you'd be leaving the office and it'd be pitch black.
Once upon a time I did, and it was miserable.
Yeah, when I interned at the tax software company, we were working crazy hours. Like, yeah, all tax season, January to April, I didn't see the sun.
Tax seasons.
We got in there so early and left so late.
And I was a really late filer this year because I could be because of COVID. So like I just did my taxes in July, and it's like they're going to come due again like very quickly. And I'm like, oh gosh, like that really stinks.
Do you guys know, what is the longest you've worked at a job, like consecutive hours? Like you started at 7, you didn't leave till midnight. What's your record?
Let me think here. When I was at the hardware store, like if I opened, we would get the floors done at night, and they obviously would start that after we closed and somebody had to be there, or there was the day of inventory and it was a really long day. So I know. I would probably be stretching if I said 20 hours, but it's possible. I mean, of course, there's labor laws that probably, of course, I was salary, so what are labor laws?
Oh, you were salary too? So you worked all those hours and you didn't?
I hate
I
salary.
know.
That sucks.
Oh, it did. What about you guys?
Mine would have to be, I want to say like 14 or 15 hours in one day. I had to coach the swim team in the morning, then do lessons, then lifeguard the whole day, but there was a party after work. So I had to lifeguard the party, and I think that was done at 9. So after cleanup, we were out around like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Thanks.
It was a long day.
What
about you, Aaron?
Tax software company, I got in at 8 and I didn't leave till 2 in the morning.
Ooh.
The next day.
Yeah, it just happens. It definitely happens. And if the floors were done, I would work like the late shift the next day. But going in, I mean, there's always days like that though.
Oh yeah.
I remember one time we lost power when I was working at the grocery store in high school. So we lost power. We had to kick everyone out. There were like no sign, power coming back on. So we had to stay late in the grocery store with flashlights and like garbage bag over all the dairy cases that were just open, where, you know what I mean, to kind of help insulate it. But it was really cool being in a grocery store by flashlight, especially like the back rooms and stuff. It was I love that horror movie feel. It was great.
I do
I
too.
love it. Most people would be like terrified. I was like, this is awesome.
We did lose power a handful of times at the hardware store, but we didn't have to worry about like perishable items. So we were able to still we stay actually it's very close to how stores are handling intake now with the corona, where we just would have to everyone had a line up outside, and each employee, however many employees we had, with a flashlight had to take the person to what they were looking for. And we were like, please just buy essentials. So if you needed a plumbing thing, electrical thing, like please don't
Right.
shop our store. Like don't look at the snacks. Like, you know,
I need some good lawn, decoration.
yeah. I'm like, no. But we did, help them. The downside is, if the power isn't working, we couldn't take credit cards. So it was like cash only
Mhm.
and check only. And we had to handwrite all of the UPCs down and then put them into the register. And you're like, I pray that it turns out the same amount, because you had to do taxes. And that was one of the reasons why we're like, please don't buy food, because that doesn't get taxed. The other stuff, like it just was, we tried to like keep it streamlined as much as possible, but the world has to go on and people need their stuff.
Exactly.
You're laughing, Aaron. Why are you laughing?
Oh, no, it's the same boat where we had to do that at the grocery store. When we lost power. We had to manually ring everybody up. And
It's people need their food. I mean, stores are a necessity. So that's where, we need to be able to go into stores and buy the things that we need.
sometimes you lose power. People, panic buy stuff too.
Well, yeah. People need extension cords for like generators. They need flashlights, batteries. Anytime like the power went out or there was an actual like storm or issue or something like that, it was always good for our business because people would come in and need to get the stuff. I'll remember like there was obviously in the winter we sold like rock salt for driveways and stuff naturally. And there was one winter like it did not ice/snow basically, and you get left over. You don't want to run out, but you don't want to have too much. And the amount that we had left over was insane. And everybody was like that year. It wasn't just us. It was Meijer, it was Walmart, it was just crazy. Oh, the good old hardware days. Those were simple times.
Wasn't it though?
It really was.
I was talking with Jen, this was a while back, and we were talking about, man, we should almost get like some, I don't say remedial job, but like just something where you just show up and not have to put a lot of thought into it. It was her idea. She wanted to go work. I always wanted to go and work at a video store. I think that'd be awesome. Now they don't exist anymore.
Oh, AJ will never know the video store.
Joy. AJ, did you never go to
How
like
young do you think I am,
Blockbuster?
dude? I had a Blockbuster on my street. Like, not on my
But
street,
did
but
you
nearby.
religiously go to Blockbuster because it was before Netflix and
No, we got too many fines.
you and a lot of people?
I think they're
Yeah.
still trying to collect on it.
AJ's why they had to go out of business.
You called Blockbuster. I love it.
Oh no, they're gonna hear this podcast and know where to find you.
I
Just
love
record
it.
it.
No.
Record
We
it.
had
You can become TikTok famous for being a Blockbuster fine violator.
I saw this meme. It was this guy was gonna ID me at the store, and then while I was getting my ID, my Blockbuster card fell out, and he's like, "Sir, I don't need your ID."
See, he just said, "How young do you think I am?" And he just throws that joke in front of us. Like, obviously, it states an age, AJ. No,
But I
That is
remember
awesome.
running through Blockbuster and picking out movies, going to the family. Was it the family
family
store?
video.
Family Video? There we go. They
Well,
still
Family-
have one out in Allen Park, I believe.
I think Blockbuster was around for quite some time. I think before Family Video popped into the equation. It was fun. Did you have VHSs when you were a baby, AJ?
Oh yeah.
Did you have VHSs because they were left over, or like were they available in the store still?
Is that what you rented? Or were you only renting DVDs?
I want to say it's probably because what we had left over. Because I had a VCR and DVD player like combo, and all my childhood movies like Power Rangers, all that
Yeah.
stuff was on VHS.
Sure.
but everything else we got was on DVD.
That's
What?
fair.
But not Blu-ray. Blu-ray wasn't out by that at that time.
I've never had a Blu-ray player.
He's so proud of that. But Blu-ray hadn't existed when I was born. He needs something.
You old man, AJ. You old man. You old dog.
Let's talk about Power Rangers for a second, because that show has stayed relevant for decades. It's impressive.
It
And
really is.
probably all they do is change characters and they go through the same storyline, just different seasons. Probably a lot like a soap opera. But man, they're still kicking.
Oh yeah. I was surprised Aaron didn't know what SpongeBob was.
I knew what SpongeBob was. I didn't know your Snapchat filter was Squidward.
So I sent him a picture of fancy Squidward.
Oh, Squidward. I did not allow Owen to watch SpongeBob at first because I thought it was a stupid show. I thought it was an inappropriate show. And Marcus is like, Amanda, it's not. I was like, then why does he sound so stupid? I didn't want Owen to sound stupid. And so after I watched a couple episodes, I'm like, okay, I guess it isn't that bad, because there was a storyline to it. Ish. It really wasn't bad. It just, I have a hard time with sounds. And his voice is annoying.
Fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
And you just never, and I tried to let him watch shows that didn't want to make me rip out my hair. Aaron, do you feel me on that?
I'm like a big kid at heart. So like I actually watch him with William.
No, that's what,
I feel so betrayed if he goes an episode ahead without me. I'm like, what? I don't know what's going on now in Voltron. You're killing me, buddy. I'm sorry, Dad.
But there's like, it's important to be able to watch one that you can have playing in the background and it doesn't like sound like nails on a chalkboard.
What's also hard is like when they reboot these cartoons that you loved as a kid, and then you watch the reboot with your son, and you're like, this is nothing like the original. I'm reading The Hobbit to William. He's 6, and I wanted to start reading, like, I got sick of like the little critter books and like the little, talk about like TV shows. Like I got sick of reading the same
little critter books. Like,
you know, critter. Yeah, he's got
like
little
Mercer Mayer books.
Yeah. Those guys.
You know those?
I've got probably a few of them memorized.
I have like a stack this thick. I love those. I have them from my childhood.
We have some books from Jen's. It's even got her little name. This book belongs to Jennifer Kinsland, and so I'm loving that. I was gonna do Harry Potter with him. I've never read Harry Potter. Everyone like as big of a nerd I am. They're shocked by that, but I'm like, you know what? I'll read that with him. And he told me, like, you know, Dad, this girl in my class likes Harry Potter. I don't want to.
That's funny. I used to read to Owen all the time. Now he doesn't want me to because, you know, he's 13 and a half, whatever. And so I tried to read Harry Potter once, and it is a really hard read out loud. It's very, it's written, at least the versions I have, written very accenty, like a British accent type thing, which I love. I just can't speak. So when I'm watching the movies, like you adjust to it and it just becomes part of the sound, but to actually read it out loud, I stumble and it's hard. So I stopped reading it. So I found the audio cassette tapes at the thrift store like 10 years ago, and that's what we have. And I had to find a cassette player to play on.
You know, that's a good idea. I'm probably not the same, but that could be something. Before William goes to bed, instead of actually having to read the book, I can just lay there next to him and be like,
honestly, yes, because it's a really good point. Because when Owen was very little, anytime we were playing, I either had like classical music playing on. I just love classical music myself. And then we would listen, and that's when I listened to like all the classics for the first time. Like I got them all from the library, never had read like Tom Sawyer, That's also a hard one to read out loud because of
Oh yeah.
all the words. And so it was really, I learned so much since Owen's been born just because of what I am offering him. I love it.
Oh man, and audiobooks, when I discovered those, that changed my life. Because then you're able to do other things. Like back before I was married, I always had audiobooks playing when I was working around the house, or sometimes I just lay on the couch and listen to them. I got so many audiobooks from the library in Pinckney that one time I was going on a trip, so I actually ordered the actual book. That the librarian called me, like, "Hey, Aaron, we just got your order in. I think there was a mistake. Did you know it was an actual book?"
I love it.
Like, I can read, Claire. I can read.
But, I love a good story. I just hate to actually physically read. I feel like people are going to hate me for saying this, and that's fine. But I feel like actually sitting down and reading a book is a waste of my time. If I can hear the story and enjoy it just as much as, actually, for me, better, I enjoy it more just listening to it and can be doing other things at the same time. I'm like, that's productivity. So for me personally, I really need, that's the only way I'm going to actually listen to things. So I love a good story and I love a good book. I just don't physically like to actually sit down and read it, where some of my friends like to curl up in a couch with a blanket on a rainy day and read. That's what they long to do. Like they're waiting for that perfect opportunity. I've never been that. Are you does that interest you guys?
No, not really. I wasn't really a big reader. I'm trying to read more though, for sure.
I read before bed every night.
You cut out there. What was that, Aaron?
I said I read every night before bed. Like in bed, an actual book. It helps you sleep. Except for last night when I was on TikTok. That's neither here nor there. I was on the phone with Stu. Stu, we can't have a podcast without mentioning Stu. I was on the phone with Stu till 11 last night. So, I was up anyway.
I love my conversations with Stu. We know this.
We had a great conversation.
But I am so grateful he has a friend who he can actually call after 8 and have them actually be awake to speak to him. Because we know Amanda's not up after that. And if I am, it's not I can't really speak in full sentences. I struggle during the day doing that. Come on, after bedtime for me. So I love that he has you that he can call.
It's the only time I get to talk to him is that late. So it's all right, I'll be tired tomorrow just so I can talk to my buddy.
I know. Well, that's when his store closes. I'm going to bed by the time he's getting home from a store, which is
and he's a busy guy, and I get that. And so it's it was worth it.
I love him. I love him so much. So his store is the Conservatory. It's located in Monroe, Michigan, and it is such a trendy, chic, modern houseplant store.
Awesome. William loves going there.
It's so, so cool. You walk into there and it's just happy. Obviously it's green, but he really has created an experience when you go into that store. So again, I'm so proud of him. It's really awesome. Well, any final words, guys, because we are already way over our normal time. Not way over because we've done way, way over before, but we're definitely over. Any final words? They're both shaking their head no. I could go on forever, but Amanda has to have a limit at some point. So Amanda's cut off for this episode. Well, we appreciate you tuning in. We're 30 minutes with a mom, dad, and young bachelor. And that's our name on all of our platforms, which is really exciting and good and easy to follow. We would love a subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. Anything you want to add? They're so silent. They're just digesting, going, there's going to come a time Amanda's going to kiss my head. They're already prepping how they're going to handle this. I've scarred them for life. Until next episode, we will see you next week. Bye.
I washed my hair that day.
I don't know if I can give you a warning. All right. Till next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.